The Whispering Man. It started on a Tuesday night. Mark had just moved into his new apartment, a small, cozy place on the third floor of an old brick building. The price was a steal, almost too good to be true. The landlord had been oddly eager to hand over the keys. Mark didn't question it. He was just happy to finally have a place of his own. The first few nights were normal. The apartment was quiet, and the neighbors seemed friendly enough. But on the fourth night, something changed. At exactly 3:12 a.m. Mark woke up. He hadn't set an alarm. There was no sound that disturbed his sleep, but as soon as he opened his eyes, he felt it. A presence. Then, the whispering hats began. A faint, raspy voice, just beyond his hearing. It wasn't coming from outside. It wasn't coming from another apartment. It was coming from inside his room. Mark's breath caught in his throat. He turned on the bedside lamp, his eyes scanning the room. Nothing. His closet door was slightly ajar, but that was normal. Maybe he was just imagining it. He left the lamp on for the rest of the night. The next day, he told himself it had been a dream. He went to work, met up with some friends, tried to push it out of his mind. But when he came home, something felt off. His bedroom window was open. Mark knew for a fact that he had locked it before leaving. A chill ran down his spine as he shut it again. Was someone breaking in? No, nothing was missing. Nothing was out of place. Except for the whispering. It came again that night. Closer this time. Mark sat up in bed, every muscle in his body tense. He strained his ears, trying to make out the words. The whispering was low, muffled, like someone speaking through a wall. Then, clear as day, he heard it. "Let me in." His blood turned to ice. Mark jumped out of bed and turned on every light in the apartment. He checked the closet, the bathroom, even under the bed. Nothing. But he barely slept that night. By the fifth night, the whispering had changed. It wasn't just a voice anymore. It was breathing. Shallow, ragged breaths, right next to his ear. Mark bolted upright, his heart pounding. The room was dark, but he felt something near him. He reached for his phone and turned on the flashlight, sweeping it across the room. And then, he saw them. 2 handprints. Pressed against the glass of his bedroom window, from the inside. His stomach lurched. He grabbed his phone and snapped a picture, his hands shaking. But when he checked the photo, there was something else in the reflection. Man. Tall, thin, standing in the corner of the room. His face was blurred, as if the camera refused to capture it. Mark didn't sleep. He kept every light on, his back pressed against the headboard, waiting for morning. By the next evening, Mark had had enough. He called the landlord. "Has anyone ever complained about weird things in this apartment?" he asked. Silence. Then a heavy sigh. "You should move out." Mark's grip tightened on the phone. "What? Why?" "The last guy. He didn't last long either." Mark's throat went dry. "What happened to him?" Another long pause. "He kept hearing a voice," the landlord said. "Kept saying someone was whispering to him. Then one day he told me he finally saw the thing. And that same night." Mark swallowed hard. "What?" The landlord's voice dropped to a whisper. He let it in. A shiver ran down Mark's spine. He didn't sleep that night, but when 3:12 a.m. came, something changed. The whispering didn't come from the window this time. It came from right behind him. "You should have left." Mark turned and screamed. What do you think? Would you stay another night in that apartment? Or would you leave the moment you heard the first whisper? Let me know in the comments. And if you think this story was creepy, wait until you hear the next one. It's even worse. Click here to watch it now.